Hi, this is Dan Whiting with the National Fragile X Foundation. And we're starting now our live broadcast with Jane and Linda with the Foundation 2 to answer your questions and talk a little bit about the new Fragile X virtual series, which is replacing our in-person conference for this year. We're excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really useful. And we want to talk a little bit more about it. Before we do that, though, I do want to take a minute and just highlight that we have a bunch of new resources available since the last time I came on here live for caregivers to use during this special time during the pandemic. If you go to our website under Understanding Fragile X or Living with Fragile X, you'll see our COVID-19 resources page, and you can scroll through that and see all of the resources. We're really grateful for all of the professionals who's given their time to record special videos on everything from self-regulation to mindfulness to caring for yourself during the special time. So we encourage folks to go there, take advantage of all of these free resources. I also want to highlight that we're having another happy hour this Friday for the entire Fragile X community, no matter where you are in the world. This one will start at 9 a.m. Pacific time to help accommodate some of our worldwide audiences, and hopefully we can get some more people to join in. So you can go to our Facebook page and register for that under the events. And with that, I want to introduce Jane and Linda. Anyway, Jane and Linda. Linda is our executive director, and Jane is our director of community services. Is that right? Can't remember what we ended up with, Jane.
Education.
Education and service, right? Anyway, she is our go-to resource for all parents and caregivers and researchers and providers, and is also a Fragile X mom to Ian. But with that, Linda, why don't you talk for a few minutes about the conference, the painful decision to forego the in-person one this year, which is set for Orlando in July, and our virtual series and what we hope to do with it, kind of some of the exciting parts of it, and some of the background on the decision.
Sure, be happy to. Happy Blurs Day, everyone. I don't know if you're like me, but it's hard to keep track of the days now. I realize part of that is not having anything to look forward to. So many times we have get-togethers with friends, with family, events to go to, movies to see, concerts to take part of, vacations to look forward to, and of course, planning for those social activities has become much more challenging. So the days are running together, I think, for a lot of us. But I do think that our virtual conference series is something that everyone can look forward to. We put a lot of thought into not obviously recreating the live conference experience, but aspects of it, not only taking in as much of the educational content that we typically provide, but also creating opportunities for you to interact with each other. And I think you're all going to be really pleased to see how this works out. We're using a proven conference event app, one that we had intended to use anyway for the live event, and I think it's going to work out really well. So I came back from a delightfully relaxing vacation in Mexico in early March. There was obviously a lot of noise, but nothing that raised big concerns for me. We went ahead with launching the registration for the in-person event, and that was, I think, March 16th. The next day, California was put under shelter-in-place orders. That got my attention, as it did everyone on our team, and we started having some serious conversations about what would this mean for our live event. Hard to know. Of course, it was, at that point, 5 months away, and it was 4.5 months away. We should be okay. But as more and more states started issuing the mandates, and it became apparent that the coronavirus pandemic was indeed very serious. I began to seriously consider what would it take for us to cancel the event. And of course, we've had a contract in place for over 3 years now with the hotel in Orlando. They were not happy that we were even considering. They felt it was premature. But I was able to persist in making the case that even if things became safer for everyone, that the idea of traveling on a plane, in most cases, to a meeting where you would be congregating with large numbers of people was probably not going to appeal to a lot of people. And then I know that, many people have also been hit by the economic impact of this. And, even if they wanted to, might not be able to afford it. It got down to deciding that we did not want to put on an event that nobody wanted to come to. Fortunately, we had already collected nearly 170 presentation submissions from prospective faculty members that were very interested in sharing their knowledge and expertise. And we were able to pivot quite quickly into designing the series of events. I think, if anything, the fact that we had to divide this up into a series tells you the depth and breadth of the content that's typically available during the live event. It was just really impossible to think that we could deliver that virtually in a way that would work for most people. So I hope you'll appreciate the fact that we've kind of organized it by some big general topics of appeals to just about anyone in the Fragile X community. And we're able to take advantage of the wonderful content that is being put together by our presenters. I will add that the decision to cancel the conference was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I didn't realize, it took about 2 weeks of, doing all the back and forth and working with the hotel and talking with our board of directors, talking with everyone on the team. And I cried. When we told everyone that night, I just sobbed. And my husband was like, "What's wrong with you?" It was just, I was so pent up about it. And it was sad for me too, because I love the conference. I love seeing everyone. I love the fact that the foundation could put this event on for people, and then that it's so powerful. So I was really upset, but at the same time relieved that the decision had been made, that no one was going to have to choose whether they wanted to do this or not, and that we have a fantastic plan B, as I'm calling it. So I'm really excited, and I hope it will be something that everyone looks forward to this summer.
Oh, thanks. I don't think it would be a Fragile X gathering if there wasn't some crying. So,
it's true.
Anyway, I am excited. I know I've been to one conference. You all have been to a lot. So, and there's certainly just uncalculable value in connecting in person with people. We all know that. And, with these shelter in places, I think even the introverts are starting to figure that out, that they even need some social interaction. Mm-hmm. But I think this is going to be a pretty neat event. There's well over 100 different presentations. There's a broad range of presentations about Fragile X syndrome, their premutation disorders, and researchers. And we're a unique conference in that we usually attract researchers and families and medical providers all in the same spot. They can interact with each other. And I know when I was there, the researchers were often like, it's great to be able to finally meet people that are impacted by what we're researching and helping to try to solve is one thing. But most families that go for the first time, say the first time is drinking from the fire hose, and you go back the next 2 years later, so then you know what to go listen to.
Right.
The advantage here is it's all going to be on demand for you to listen to when you want. You don't have to drink from the fire hose over 2 days. But Jane, maybe, I know you've been working day and night on the agenda and all the proposals for months now, and getting close to wrapping it up. But can you give us a few highlights of what people could expect?
Oh, I would be happy to. So I think as many of you know, that we've divided it into 3 different series. We're going to have one on Fragile X syndrome, one on the premutation condition, and one on research. And so our focus initially has been on the one on Fragile X syndrome, because that's coming up in a month, just a little over 4 weeks, May 29th and 30th. And I've been focused on that agenda and setting up. So at each of the conferences, each of the events, we're going to have a combination of live and recorded sessions. And so, the wonderful part about this platform that we're using is that you'll be able to have interaction with every presenter that is, that's listed on the agenda. And so, and we're covering all of the Fragile X syndrome one. It's through the lifespan, everything from young children to education, development and behavior, medications. We've got sessions on females and adults with Fragile X syndrome. So we're covering it from the entire spectrum, and we will have live panels that will enable you to ask questions in real time to get the questions that are most pressing in your life. And we've got a mix. The ideas, we're setting up a mix of topics and ages and sexes and abilities, and there truly will be something for everyone. And so if you have any questions or looking for anything, please me, and I'd be happy to help you out with any aspect of the agenda or what you're looking for.
Thanks, Jane. That's great. I know that looking through the comments on the video even right now, I got folks from New Zealand and Canada and the United States, and that's one neat advantage of this virtual event, is that people are going to be able to join us from all over. We had the virtual happy hour 2 Fridays ago, and it was great. 2 different folks join us from Africa, different parts of Africa. So it's neat to connect. We hope to hear different parts of the world this Friday. But it's Fragile X doesn't know any boundaries. So it's the same everywhere, and a lot of the same answers. And there's doctors doing research all over, and different levels of providing care. And so, but we all need help and access to these sessions. So I want to remind folks. Linda talked a little bit about the app we're involving, but there's been lots of opportunity to connect in real time, not only with the speakers, but people that are there, and you're able to see if there's other families that live nearby, and arrange to meet up with them either in the app during the conference through a Zoom chat or small sessions, or you can connect later. And in fact, I was logged on to it earlier, getting things ready and checking out all the features, and I realized that all my messages from the times we've used it for other non-NFFX conferences, all those messages are still there, so you can go back and look and connect with people. So with that, I don't see any specific questions, but maybe Linda, you could just talk real briefly about our somewhat unique pandemic-oriented pricing. So
yes, very unique. Again, in recognition of the economic impact that many people around the world are experiencing, we wanted to make this virtual series affordable, and in ways that people felt like they could choose pricing that met meets their particular needs. So we're fortunate to have our good friend Tracy Stackhouse at Developmental Fragile X share some information from another conference that had also gone virtual. And we thought this would be an ideal way for us to make this available to everyone. So there's a support level, which is, if you have been significantly impacted, it's really the basic price. The sustaining level is, you're doing okay, and you want to help us cover the cost of getting this content to you. And then the champion level is not only paying for your own access, but helping us subsidize the access for others who can't afford it. So I hope everyone appreciates the options that you have. It's interesting because we've been putting on the international conference. This is our 17th, which is now the virtual issue or edition. But the live event, we've been doing it forever. We know what to do and by when and who's going to do it. And it's not something that is particularly, it's still a lot of work, but there's not a lot of discussion about what needs to get done. Pivoting to a virtual event has required an all hands on deck approach. And I'm very, very appreciative of the fact that we have such a talented team here at the foundation that has really embraced this opportunity to bring this valuable educational content to everybody at your convenience, really. I don't know if it's clear, but if you have registered for the series and you're not able to partake of any of all of the live sessions during the time that they're happening, they are going to be recorded. They will be available for another 6 months. The recorded sessions will also be available for another 6 months. So, for example, the first 2 days event that we're offering at the end of May has live sessions where you can interact with the speakers, and then recorded sessions. So you may choose from one or the other, but if you can't, you don't have to forego any of them. You're going to be able to see everything at your own convenience. And I think that's incredible, because really hard to do at the live event, particularly when we have 8 concurrent sessions going on at any one time. So I think this is opening our eyes to a whole new approach, really, of delivering on our mission of education. And it's what we do with the support of our volunteers, a number of regional events. The international conference is only every 2 years, and I think maybe we could spread that out a little bit. We're still very, very, very invested in bringing the live event to everyone, because I think it is such a unique opportunity, and one that the Fragile X community really appreciates, is being able to come together with other people on this journey. So those are not going away, just so you know.
So that's great. So we did have a question from Rhett, our friends out in Kansas, about the self-advocate session. So he wants to know what's happening with that. And so I know, Jane, you've been planning some stuff, and I've heard rumors, but I don't want to give away any secrets.
Well, Missy and Diane have been working very hard. And so we're offering the Saturday sessions on Facebook, Sibling and Self-Advocate Facebook group. And I think you've been a part of that. And so we're going to keep on hosting those and moving forward and providing lots of opportunity for the self-advocates on that in that way. And it's every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And this Saturday is Disney Day. So be sure to log on and get on the Facebook page. We'll be, it's a great way to stay connected, get connected, and stay connected with other people. And
yeah, that's great. I put a link to the Siblings and Self Advocates group in the comments. So if people aren't already a part of that, you can ask to join. It is a private group. So, but they'll let you in if you're approved.
well, and Rhett, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I hope you'll continue to do so. That's great.
All right. Well, we've taken up 20 minutes, folks. So we should probably wrap this up. But, I do want to remind people that we are not very far away. And so we're easy to get to. If you go to fragilelex.com, on the screen there /conference, that'll take you right to the page with all of the information. We're keeping that updated. The agenda will be up hopefully in the next few days. So,
Bean.org, right? Right, Dan?
Yeah, .org, right? That one.
Good.
And again, to remind people that we have a lot of free resources up right now. So a lot of very informative videos and articles, and we do have some more coming. So, but please check those out. And lastly, I will just add, because Jane mentioned it earlier, that you can reach Jane at jane@fragilelex.org with any questions. So, and help in newly diagnosed, transitioning adults, anything, just reach out to Jane and she will help you. So with that, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to seeing you in 1 month from today.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Everyone, look forward to seeing you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.